Good evening and welcome to Sports Shorts Monday. I'm Tommy Krysan on a beautiful Monday evening as I sit here at Court Street Cafe in Port Allen. Got people eating dinner, people having drinks behind me, a lot of people out on the patio on this beautiful evening. Court Street Cafe in Port Allen. I'm Tommy Krysan, as I mentioned. Ronnie Rance away from the microphone today. Might jump in on the show. He's been traveling. Might jump in, might not, but we'll see how that goes. We can fly it solo for you. I've done this before. I've been doing this a long time. All right, we're going to talk some LSU baseball. Yeah, we have to. Okay, LSU baseball. By the way, today is Jay Johnson's birthday. He's 49 years old today, and if he keeps having to watch this team, he's going to look 69, right? So happy birthday, Coach Jay Johnson. I'm sure you've had happier birthdays in the past based on what has transpired on the field for LSU as they get swept by A&M, a very good A&M team. Let's point that out. A&M is very, very good, and they're going to be in the postseason. Could be a one seed, two at the worst, unless they collapse. So we'll talk some LSU baseball today. They are home tomorrow night, Tuesday. 6:30 against the UNO Privateers. By the way, you see, UNO Privateers are going to become the LSU UNO Privateers. That's what they were known as when I was a kid, and I think they changed the color scheme to purple and gold from the blue and silver. I'm not sure of that. I think I read that. But UNO's Privateers come into Alec Bach Stadium, Skip Bertman Field tomorrow night. Speaking of Skip Bertman, Miami Beach High School, where he started his coaching career in baseball. He also coached football there. Going to name their baseball field after Skip Bertman down there, Miami Beach High School in Miami. We're glad for that. And congratulations to Coach. All right, gymnastics, national runner up. I know it's a disappointment. Say, hey, I watched all the gymnastics this past Saturday. I watched it all. I kind of know what I'm looking at. I'm no expert. I don't know how the scoring goes, whatever, but I can kind of follow along the scores on the right side of the screen. But anyway, I watched it. LSU, just by a sliver, finishes behind Oklahoma, who was the defending national champs. And look, it's disappointment. It's oh so close, and that hurts. I get it. But in time, being the national runner-up, they will be glad about that, and they will rejoice in that. Coach Jay Clark said, "Hey, we're not going anywhere. We're going to compete for the title in 27." And I truly believe that. A lot of young gymnasts on this team, so we'll see how that pans out. So we'll talk a little gymnastics. Major League Baseball continues to roll on. The Mets are terrible, and that's the way it goes right now. Long season. Skeens got to win the other day. Gosman got to win yesterday for Toronto, who's been struggling. So Major League Baseball rolls on. The NFL draft will start Thursday night in Pittsburgh. You know, they made this big spectacle of the draft now. As of tonight, Monday night, the Saints are slated to pick number 8 in the first round. A little numerology for you. They've got 8 total picks in the draft. One in the first, second, third, and sixth round. They have 2 picks in the fourth round, 2 picks in the fifth round. Tried to get Joel Davis on tonight, where he could have maybe pontificated a little bit about the draft and who he thinks the Saints are going to pick: defensive back, edge rusher, wide receiver. I think it's one of those 3 as they continue to build around Tyler Shuck. And they roll into year number 2 of Kellen Moore. So lots of mock drafts. I'm not a mock draft guy. I think they're foolish. But you get some info. You find out what teams want a certain position, and then they may or may not get that. But anyway, if you're into mock drafts, there's like 82 million of them that you can watch. LSU spring football rolls on. We'll get into a little bit of that. The Baton Rouge Rougarou. Here, let's get this up on the screen. We're getting closer to Texas Collegiate League baseball. The Baton Rouge Rougarou play at Pete Goldsby Field in Baton Rouge. The Gumbo Gators, Lake Charles Gumbo Gators, play at McNeese's Field in the Southland Conference, McNeese Cowboys. So go to those websites, get your season tickets now. Great deal. Get some merchandise, fresh merchandise for both teams. brrougarou.com and gumbogators.com. We want you to check that out. Sports Shorts Radio, we remind you, on Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 12 noon, 104.5 ESPN in Baton Rouge, ESPN Southwest Louisiana, which hits the Lake Charles and Lafayette markets. Last Saturday, we were at Mr. Carter's Barbershop in Prairieville. That's always a big hit. And this coming Saturday, April 25, we'll be live from BRQ Seafood and Barbecue in Baton Rouge on Jefferson Highway, not far from Airline. BRQ Seafood and Barbecue. That's a fabulous place if you haven't been there yet. And then once again, I remind you that we're at Court Street Cafe like we are on Mondays. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Saturday night is steak night. The Sunday brunch is a plus. Here at Court Street Cafe, Jason and the staff do a super duper job. And I guess we got the NBA playoffs are going on. Does anybody really care? I think less than 10 people in Louisiana care about the NBA playoffs, but they are going on and all that good stuff. So Ronnie Ranch jumps in and joins us. Ronnie, where are you at, man? About Kansas City Royals, Kaufman Park. Is that where you're at? Hello, Ronnie. He is at the Kansas City Royals game, Kaufman Field in KC, right?
I got a legend here for you,
Stadium.
Tommy. Hang on.
Okay,
I'm going to step away
down
here in a minute where you can hear me better. I'm going to go over there. But look, I got a legend for you, then I'll tell you who you're looking at.
Okay, I'll see if I can guess this thing out.
Coach, I want you to say hey to Tommy Christ and Gene Stevenson, the head coach of Wichita State, in the house right here. Just wave to him, coach. Good buddy
Coach,
of
how
mine.
you doing, man? Great to see you, Coach. All right. Hey, Ronnie, how's your trip going, man?
What's up, buddy?
How's your trip going?
No, it's going good. Going good. I'm step over here, up here with, of course, the College Baseball Hall of Fame is in Kansas City, and Overland Park actually in Kansas City, right outside of Kansas City, and here for the celebrity golf tournament that we had today. Played with Chris Benson, the first pick of the 1996 draft.
Clemson guy.
Yeah, I mean, and played with Chris Benson today.
He actually
And
pitched at the box.
had a weather was perfect. Played a Jack Nicklaus course here in town, and so here at the ball game tonight, just saw Ben McDonald. He's on the call tonight for the Baltimore Orioles. Are in town taking on the Royals. They're about to start right now, and so Ben is doing the broadcast. Of course, Ben in the College Baseball Hall of Fame. We had Joe Carter was there today. Of course, hit the walk-off home run to win the World Series for the Toronto Blue Jays in the early '90s. He lives in Kansas City. He's in the College Baseball Hall of Fame. Roger Clemens was there last night and tonight. He flew back this afternoon to Texas. Roger Clemens played. It was a fun event. Glad we did it. Don't know that I would do it next year, but glad I came this year. And by the way, Kauffman Stadium, where we are, is an old ballpark that's been around, Tommy, since what, early '70s, late '60s, something like that. And of course, it's been remodeled and stuff, but outside looks old, but the inside's great. It's a great ballpark.
Ronnie, before we get to LSU baseball, I think you may have seen it. Miami Beach High School going to name their baseball field after Skip Bertman. A tremendous honor for him. I don't know what took so long, but anyway, that's great for Coach Bertman. I know his daughter Jill posted a bunch of stuff on that, and that's good. Ronnie, LSU baseball currently in 14th place in the FCC. Gets swept by A&M. Jay Johnson's birthday today. He's 49 years old, and if he has to keep watching this team, he's going to feel like he's 69.
Yeah, look, Jay Johnson, I would hate to. Just like you would hate to be married to any coach going through a bad stretch, you don't want to be married to him right now because I'm sure it's not very chatty or very fun. But the Tigers are having a tough time right now, and it's surprising that it's the first time they've been swept in back-to-back series since 21, I believe. Yeah, it was 21 when Paul Mainieri is in his final season, and so. They are. It's a bad way. And Tommy, I don't see any end in sight. Like there's no hope for. They're showing signs of breaking out of it, or the Calvary's getting ready to come. To get healthy and return. They have some bright spots. Aaron Beatty has been playing really well the last 3 weeks. Omar Cerner, is going to be a really good player. He's a super freshman. So, the future's bright with those two. And, Milam, of course, keeps playing fantastic defense at shortstop. But, Jake Brown's really slowed down. The batting average hovering around 300 now after he hit 400 for a month or so. Yeah, it's a lot of problems right now. And I don't, unfortunately, if you're an LSU fan like I am, I don't see the Tigers getting things turned around. I think this is going to be a year where they get left out of a regional.
Well, and they host the UNO Privateers tomorrow night. Obviously, non-conference. They got to go to Starkville Friday, Saturday, Sunday. and that's going to be tough, especially in Starkville, one of the meccas of college baseball. It's going to be very tough to go up there and play. So I'm like you. I'm not, I can hang my hat on and say, well, if this happens, unless five guys break out the bats tomorrow, and more importantly, keep it rolling in Starkville. You're right. They're staring not being in a regional, not certainly not hosting, but not even playing in a regional is where it is today. Could it change a little bit? But they got four tough series coming up with the likes of Mississippi State and Georgia and Florida. South Carolina's in there, and they got swept this weekend. Two teams got swept this weekend: South Carolina, LSU. So worry about UNO tomorrow night. It'll be Johnny Holstaff on the mound, and then try to get it done in Starkville, which will be tough.
Yeah, we'll be honoring a couple of Rougarou players before the game, by the way, giving them their rings from the championship last summer. But all right, so I'm in the Kansas City Royals gift shop, and I'm looking for what is the number one item that you guys have sold, and like what's the most popular item you sell in this gift shop
I
in
think
general?
Jasmine.
In general,
Yeah.
it's going to be the standard KC hats.
So the game hats, the game hats, the number one by far.
Where does the George Brett jersey rank?
By far.
Fitted stuff will be adjustable and whatnot. So the fit will change based off of the person, but this type of style is like.
Now tell me about these Royals hats. Is that a new thing this year?
Yes, in a way. This is City Connect. So City Connect.
City Connect.
Mhm.
Okay.
This is our second round of City Connect. So we're one of 8 teams to have new ones this year. And our main one, the one that the boys use on the field, is this one right here.
Okay. What
That
does that represent? Do we know?
So
The
that-
fountains?
that's the fountains.
Okay.
It's also a crown shape.
Okay, yeah, sure.
This is supposed to be a Midwest summer sunset.
So that's why it's kind of faded a little bit there, two-tone or whatever.
And then on the back we have the KCs on the back. So, or no, oh, the boys have the KC on the back. We just have that.
Yeah, I'll have the MLB logo. Okay.
So
But-
that is City Connect.
Well, I like them. I like it.
And these are just
Ronnie,
different versions,
Yeah.
of that.
Tommy, which one you like? This
I
one?
like that one right there, the City Connect, and I saw that
Yeah.
online. Ronnie, she's like all-American gift shop girl. Can we look at her? I mean,
Yeah, no.
know,
What's your name?
yeah.
Christy.
This is Christy. Christy, how long you
Christy,
been working?
hello
for
from
Royals?
Baton
About
Rouge,
10 years.
Louisiana.
About 10 years. So for 10 years, you've been running the gift shop over here.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing in here in this gift shop? Do you have a favorite?
Right. Well, it depends. So my daughter, I love this hat that's on the women's side. That's over
Okay.
here.
She's going to show us her favorite thing. Her daughter loves this hat.
And
Do
so
they sell any George Brett jerseys?
this particular hat.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Look, it's
Oh,
got
nice.
strawberries on it and flowers and
Nice
all that
drip.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Got like a little drip going, huh?
Yeah.
And then this hoodie.
And then the Royals hoodie. I like the KC on the sleeve. And it's like a little boxy cut kind of thing with the hoodie. Yeah. So you didn't know I knew what a boxy cut was. Yeah, thank you. All right. Well, there you go. I appreciate the tour. Appreciate the info. What you got, Tommy?
Hey, Ron, gymnastics, runner-up Saturday. I watched the entire meet. I kind of knew what I was looking at. By far, I'm not an expert. And I know it stings a little bit to be so close and finish runner-up to Oklahoma. In time, they'll cherish being the national runner-up. But Jay Clark said it. He said, hey, we're going to be right back here at 27 trying to win. And they have a lot of young gymnasts on the roster. So it was exciting to watch, and they came up just a hair short.
Well, the other thing too is like what he said was, "Hey, look, you did the best you could. You did great. You put up a good score. I mean, that sometimes the other team just is a little bit better, and there's nothing to be. I don't think there's anything for them to hang their hat on. They gave it a great effort. I mean, Oklahoma's they're the king. You know what I mean? They're the queen of the mat. I mean, it's you gotta really take it. They're not going to lose it. You got to really take it to beat them. And LSU came close, but just came up a little short.
Yeah, and of course we got the NFL draft starts Thursday night in Pittsburgh. Saints with a total of 8 picks, slated to pick number 8 in round 1. Garrett Nussmeier report he found out what was wrong. He had a cyst on his spine that was causing the oblique pain and injury. They discovered the cyst at the NFL Combine. Okay, I'll leave that at that. And he's supposedly good to go now. A couple of the mock, me, I'm not a mock draft fan, but I'm seeing him 3rd round or so, at this point.
It's a shame that Ilay, the Lake, or whoever couldn't figure this out in August or September because maybe it'd have been a first round pick had they figured it out. But anyway, it is what it is. I think he's actually going to, look, whoever gets him in the third or fourth round, if you're getting a healthy Garrett Nussmeier, it's a value, right?
Oh
Because
yeah, yeah, I
if
agree.
all it is a sift and you can fix it and you're fine, and you get someone a third or fourth round because they didn't have a very productive year and do a good job in the fall, and you got question marks, but yet going into the fall he was projected to be a first round pick, then you end up with a pretty good value there. So interesting to see what who takes him. I expect he's actually going to stick around, have a nice career, especially with his dad being in the league. He's a smart guy. He's going to know the playbook. He's someone that coaches can trust. Tommy, also in Kansas City, got in yesterday. He'll be back tomorrow in Baton Rouge. They're hosting the World Cup. This is one of the sites for the World Cup soccer this summer. I think they've got 8, 9, 10. I don't know. They got a bunch of games at the stadium right across the street, right? I mean, like literally across the street is where the Chiefs play. And that's where the World Cup's going to be. So Argentina is actually going to be training here and based here. So Messi's going to play his first game here in Kansas City. So they are fired up. I actually took some pictures with the World Cup trophy yesterday as they had a big, Coca-Cola had a big display where you could go through the tent and kind of take a picture with the trophy and that kind of thing because they're promoting the World Cup here in town. So there's going to be 4 teams that are going to be training and based in Kansas City in the World Cup, and they're going to have, like I said, 8, 9, 10 games here. It's going to be pretty wild.
Yeah, that'll be cool. And don't Kaufman Stadium and Arrowhead, don't they like share a parking lot? They're like
Yeah, literally. Yeah,
I could hit
literally.
like a 3 iron between the two.
But probably back in 2009, the distance between the two was about maybe 3 Buzzy Heidel long tosses. I mean, it's not far. Now it's more like 8 Buzzy Heidel long tosses. But
Yeah, he's a little bit older now.
and
Are
by the
you
way, a
on the
little
call?
programming note. Myself and Lynn Rollins will be on the call tomorrow night for LSU UNO, but also Buzzy Heidel will be filling in the rest of the season for on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Doug Thompson not going to be doing the radio the rest of the season. He's got too many conflicts with his kids and baseball and family and all that. So Buzzy will be doing the sports, the color analyst role with Chris Blair for the rest of the season.
Yeah, Buzzy will do a great job. I have no doubt about that. Glad to hear you and Lynn are on the call tomorrow night. I'll be tuned in for that one. UNO Privateers been a kind of a struggle for them this year for the most part. Southland Conference, Lamar's leading, Southeastern's in second. And, some good baseball in that conference, as we always say. So LSU, they need a W, even though it's a non-conference game. And we'll see if they can get that at the box tomorrow night.
TK, I'm gonna let you go, man, so I can get back in there. They're running low on chicken tenders and macaroni and a sweet,
Yeah,
so I
yeah,
want to make
you
sure I
need
get
to
back
be
in
in
there.
there then. Okay. All right, Ronnie.
All right,
Thank you.
buddy.
Hey,
See
don't
you.
forget Court Street Cafe here in Port Allen. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Saturday night is steak night. They get their steaks from Tremonti's Meat and Seafood, and then the Sunday brunch is awesome. A great way to keep up with Court Street Cafe. Connect with them on Facebook and Instagram. They put up the lunch specials, dinner specials, drink specials. Tonight I had the shrimp remoulade salad before I went on the air. It's an A plus. I highly recommend the shrimp remoulade salad, blackened shrimp, lots of remoulade sauce. It's really good. It's definitely worth it here at Court Street Cafe in Port Allen. Now we'll be back on Friday. We changed Sports Shorts Monday at 6:30 tonight. Sports Shorts Friday at 9 a.m. will be the next episode from Tremonti's Meat and Seafood in Baton Rouge. And don't forget Sports Shorts Radio, which now streams on Facebook, YouTube, and X this Saturday from BRQ Seafood and Barbecue in Baton Rouge, Lafayette, Lake Charles. And as I mentioned, Sports Shorts Radio, we've done it for a couple of weeks now, streams on Facebook, YouTube, and X, where you can watch it while we're doing it. Check it out later that day. Check it out Sunday night, whatever you need to do. Sports Shorts Radio now streaming. Hit up the Gumbo Gators from Lake Charles and the Baton Rouge Rougarou Texas Collegiate League action, not that far away. All right, on behalf, we appreciate Ronnie jumping in from Kansas City. On behalf of Jason and the staff here at Court Street Cafe in Port Allen, I'm Tommy Chrysant. We'll talk to you Friday morning with Sports Shorts Friday, 9 a.m. from Tremonti's. Have a great week, everyone.